Hi, my name is Tanya. I've been asked a few times over the last couple of months how I do my shimmy, so here's my shimmy for you. This is not the only shimmy I do, but it's my favourite one and it's the one I use the most. So it is called a rocking hip shimmy, so called because it uses the natural rocking motion of the hips up and down, which is the way your hips will move naturally, and it's soft, 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 soft. The reason I use it the most is because I find it has the greatest range for doing layering. On top, if I want to use my upper body, I find this is really easy. And for mobilizing, so it's the easiest. I find it's the most versatile when you want to transfer weight and start really moving with your shimmy and doing other things. So I call it a soft rocking hip shimmy. Of course, your hips are only joints, they are not muscles, so your hips don't do the work. In this particular shimmy, the main group of muscles that do the work are your quads. So your quads are very big muscles, they're quite capable of doing this and doing a lot of other things besides. The other group of muscles that you will use is your obliques, just a little. I tend to use my quads more than my obliques, but it does go between the two. The main difference aesthetically is when you start using your obliques, you'll find that you get a little bit of texture across your tummy. Not a lot, and it aesthetically makes very little difference to the shimmy. The most important thing about this shimmy, and you can hopefully see it in the mirror there, is it's soft and relaxed. Okay, so there is no tension in your butt or in the back of your thighs. And you're not pushing your knees back. So your knees are not pushed back. So you're not pulling and contracting through the back of your thighs and the back of your calves. So it's actually really easy on your body. And you can maintain it for a very long time. And you can do other things really easily at the same time. So this is it. It is soft. Let's just do it for a bit. Okay, so what you should feel is your knees are going backwards and forwards. Your legs are not too straight. In fact, they're not straight at all, so you're not pushing back in the knee. You shouldn't feel your kneecap pulled up. It should be relaxed and forward. So usually we do this in what I'll call a default position, my default position for dance, which is with a relaxed knee. And I'm not sure you can see it with my black tights on, but there's a lot of movement that goes on. Your thighs should be soft. They should be wobbling. Your butt should be wobbling. So do a quick check if you need to. Have a squeeze. Make sure that it's wobbling. Everything should be wobbling. The energy is going down into the floor. The feet are soft. So just keep shimmying with me. Okay, so shimmy. Have a check. Make sure that you're relaxed through the front part of your abdomen. So you're not pushing or holding or anything here. Have a quick check. Your butt's not doing anything except sitting there wobbling gloriously. Check the back of your thighs, that they're soft. You should feel work going on in your quads just a little bit. And your feet should be soft on the floor and nicely stretched and relaxed. Everything else should be relaxed. Of course, you have a beautiful posture, so keep the shimmy going, keep the shimmy going. It's effortless. Keep it going, keep it going. You should be pulled up. Really important that you pulled up through your back, through your spine, all the good stuff that your wonderful dance teachers have taught you, through the back of the neck. I had a ballet teacher who used to say, there's a string pulling up. The only difference is we've got to pull from the hip. So we can't pull from the floor because we don't want to stretch our legs. And of course using our lats to pull our shoulders down. You should have no trouble maintaining this. The image I like to use, rather than a jackhammer, which I know is quite common, it's like water running over rocks. Really soft. Are we still going? Make sure your hands aren't shimmying. Your hands are soft. You can do things with your hands. Your hands are not involved in this. Your arms are not involved in this. Just your shimmy, just your legs, and just a tiny slither of your leg. Okay? Now if you find you're binding, your muscles are contracting and trying to take over, which they will, it's a fast movement. Your body generally likes to contract muscles to stop fast movement to protect itself. That's pretty normal. It's your body doing what it's supposed to do. You have to tell it, no, I've got this under control, body. I just want to move this. I promise you I'm not hurting myself. But if you find you're contracting, especially your bottom, we'll try to contract to stop this, or bind, especially I think if you've been a dancer of other varieties, or if you have been a very athletic person and go to the gym, you might find you're binding. One trick I use when I've got new people learning this, and I also use it to build up stamina and strengthen my quads, is to bend a little lower. All the good stuff you usually have to do when you're bent lower. Bottom goes down as if you're about to sit on a seat or the toilet. And don't let your knees come forward over your toes, because that just shoots all of your weight to your kneecaps, which we don't want. But if you bend lower, your quads are working really hard. But what you can't do is tense your bum. Your bottom can't tense so much there. All your weight's in your quads. So it's a really good way to build strength and stamina. If you get tired, just straighten a little, making sure that you're not locking, that your kneecap doesn't pull up, and that your leg is still soft, and that everything's shaking it up. So now what you've got to do, all you've got to do is put on your favourite piece of music, a little one. Maybe start with a short one and make it longer. Just stand there and shimmy it. You can vary the speed. When you vary the speed, try not to let it go smaller. This is pretty, this is a shiver, but it's not a shimmy. Okay? And if you go faster, think big. Everything should be going. Think big, 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 big. Because when you go fast, your body's going to make it smaller, things are going to tighten, and you end up doing a shiver, which is different. Loosen everything again, make it big. I had a dance teacher in the 80s, Helen Ferris, who said, when you get fast, think big. And that's always stuck with me. Think big, even when you're going fast. Okay? So your job is to put on your favourite piece of music and shimmy all the way through. And if you want to build stamina, go low. Making sure that your knees don't go in front of your toes. Where at all possible, keep your knees behind your toes whenever you bend your knees. It isn't always possible. We dancers, we do impossible things. But for this, knees behind toes, and obviously you don't want your bum going out too far either. Go as low as you can, and shimmy there. Do stuff with your arms. Do stuff, anything with your arms, ironing, washing. And if you get really tired down there, straighten a little. Can you keep shimmy going? See how long you can do it for. And then come back and I'll show you some variations that we can put over the top as soon as we've got our shimmy going.